How's everybody doing today? Doing all right? Everyone surviving and making it through this last class. Okay. So when we read, we can't count on an author to directly tell us every important idea. Okay. We have to make what's called inferences to help us understand ideas not clearly stated. Okay, especially in the story, the Brownsville Youth Court. Okay, so inferences are basically thinking of stuff based on what you already know. So an inference, for example, would be like when I go outside, when I look outside right now, there's no clouds in the sky, so I think it might be what outside? Warm. Maybe. Okay, so it could be warm. Okay. What about if I go outside and there's like the clouds are really dark? What could I think might happen? Like cold, it could rain, okay? And how do you know that? How do you know that it's going to be cold and rainy?
Dirty clouds.
Well, there's going to be clouds, but you know that because you've experienced it before, right? So that's kind of what an inference is. It's basically like, based on your experience, you kind of know, you understand what's going on. Okay, so without it being directly said. Okay, so for example, if I feel something really hot, I know I'm probably going to get burned because you guys probably all been burned by something in your lives. Okay, so that's kind of something to think about. Is like, I know I'm not going to touch that because it burns me, and you know that based on your previous knowledge. Okay, and that's just an inference. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to go over the vocab words. I want you guys to find the vocab words on page 146. Everybody find that first vocab word. I want you to point out with your pointer finger. Everybody find that word. The word is impartial. What's that word, everybody?
Impartial.
Thanks for saying it with me. I just want to hear you guys say it one more time. The word's impartial. What's that word?
Impartial.
Impartial. Thanks for saying that. Now here, I want you to turn to the person next to you and say that word to him. What's that word?
Impartial.
Impartial. Good. Now I want to hear you say it to the ceiling.
Impartial.
Good. Now I want to hear you sound that. Ready, go. Impartial. Thank you so much for following along there. So I'm going to use it in a sentence. Okay, and then we'll come up with the meaning. The principal remained impartial as she listened to each student's side of the story. Okay? So that's kind of like impartial would be what? If I listen to both people, you're able to be what and not directly involved. Okay, we kind of talked about this word a couple of days ago, or yesterday when I had to do with justice. Okay, so if I'm impartial, it'd be the same thing as being, am I going to be fair or unfair? If I'm impartial. What do you guys think? Turn to the person next to you and tell them, what do you think? I'm fair or unfair? What do you think?
Unfair. Unfair.
Alright, okay, so I heard some different ideas out there, so it's going to be fair. So if I'm able to be fair, hold on, okay. Calgary. Sorry, able to be fair, F-A-I-R, write it in that first blank while I do this, okay? F-A-I-R, fair, write it in the first blank. So able to be fair and not directly involved, then you'd be impartial. Okay, so it's kind of like when you have two friends that are arguing over something, and you say, I don't want to get in the middle of that. Okay, you're impartial. Okay, so able to be fair and not directly involved in. Okay, appreciate getting this down. Make sure getting that down. Great. Okay, I want you to tell me. Okay, is this impartial or not? I'm just going to say some examples. You guys just say out loud, yes or no. Okay, would I be impartial? Okay, if I had two friends that were girls, so me, if I have two friends that were girls and they came up to me and asked me which one was prettier. Okay, would I be impartial if I told them that one was prettier than the other?
Yeah.
Would that be being impartial? Maybe not to the girls. Okay, so I might want to say, like, oh, you're both really pretty. Okay, you're the same. Okay, so you try to be impartial, try to be fair, to not hurt their feelings. Okay, What about, are judges impartial in a slam dunk contest?
No.
No, they're not fair, right? They could have maybe bias. I don't know. I mean, who knows? Okay. All right, let's take a look at the example question. Everybody find the example question in your book. Find it with your pointer finger. I want you to read it out loud with me. Becca, when you say that pointer finger, it's that pointer finger, Miles. Thanks for being ready to go. Braden, Jack, Charlie, okay, read that question out loud for me. Ready? Go. What is a situation when it is important to remain impartial? Okay, thanks for a ton for reading that out loud with me. So, when would it be important to be impartial? Okay, so situation when it's important to remain impartial. What do you when? So when do you want to be fair about things? When do you want to be impartial? When's a situation I'd want to be fair?
I put impartial.
Good. Okay, so when's a situation when we'd want to be impartial? So if impartial means I'm able to be fair, when's a situation I'd want to be fair in? So I just brought up that slam dunk contest. Who are the people that decide who wins? The judges. Okay, so is it important for judges to be impartial when they're judging? Probably. What do you guys think? Should they be impartial? Should they be fair? So if you join the try to cheer. Okay, so if you try out for the basketball team, okay, and you think you're the best player, you know you're the best player in the school, and then the judges, whoever is judging the tryouts, don't pick you because they know the other people that tried out. Would that be impartial? No, because you're the best player in the school and they don't pick you. Okay, so judges are people that kind of decide. They'd be impartial. So situation was important to remain impartial is when maybe judging what could we judge? What's something people judge? Judging what? What can we judge? What kind of game though? Okay, that's soccer. I don't know if judges are
Baseball.
Baseball what? Well, like what specific could we judge about baseball? So okay, maybe when judging a base or batter's swing. Okay. So I could easily judge that in baseball, a batter's swing. Okay, I might say that I don't even know any famous baseball players that are relevant now these days, but I might say Mark McGrath's swing is the best in baseball. But guess what? I'm the biggest St. Louis Cardinals fan ever. And you might say, I love Sammy Sosa. You guys probably don't even know his name. Jose Canseco. Yeah, right. Babe Ruth. I should have thrown out some names like that. Do you guys know who Babe Ruth is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope so. Alright. Legend. I know, he's kind of like Michael Jordan. Like, if you don't know who Babe Ruth is, you've been living in a shell. Okay, let's get that written down. So make sure you write the whole sentence down. Let's get it written down. Make sure you got a period. Yeah, so get it written down. Copy the whole thing I wrote up on the board. Looking really good. Yeah, perfect. Let's get that written down. We got a period. Period that.
You met who?
Okay, I'll give you 15 more seconds to get it written down. Okay, take 10 more seconds and then we'll move on to the next word. So just remember, just think being impartial is just being fair.
Yes.
Again, it's just like if your friends are fighting, they're like, whose side are you on? You're like, hey, I'm not picking a side. You're being impartial. Okay? Or when your mom and dad ask you who's the better cook, you know, I guess maybe you'll be honest to your parents. But if you don't, if it's Mother's Day, you don't want to hurt your mom's feelings. Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next word. Okay, everybody find the next word. I want to see you point out with your pointer finger. Point out the next word. I like that Charlie's ready to go. Think you're ready to go. McKaylee, Jack, Alicia. I want you to see that word. Miles, find that word. Find it, Miles. Find it. Brayden, Beckham, find that word. The word is initially. What's that word, everybody?
Initially.
Good. I just want to hear you guys say it louder. The word's initially. What's that word, everybody?
Initially.
Good. Now you guys are too loud. I want to hear you whisper. What's that word? Initially. That was nice and quiet. Now I want to hear you turn to the person next to you and say that word too. What's that word?
Initially.
Initially. Good. Now sign it out with me. Ready? Go. Initially. Perfect. You guys are doing awesome. So, Caleb initially wanted to go to a movie, but then changed his mind and stayed home. So, initially would be when? At the... What do you guys think? No, not at the movie theater. Okay. So, initially when I woke up this morning, the first thing I wanted to do was go right back to bed.
That's me.
Okay. So, initially when I got to school, I went and met up with Karen. Okay. So, when is initially? At the end or at the beginning?
Beginning.
Okay, I only hear Alicia say this. What do you guys think? Is it at the end or at the beginning? Tell the person next to you. What do you think? At the end or the beginning? Can you happen initially? End or the beginning?
What do you think?
End or the beginning? What do you think?
At the beginning.
It's at the beginning.
Yep. Okay, good. Yeah. So it's at the beginning. That'd be initially. Oh,
At the
sorry.
beginning.
I wrote that wrong.
I wrote beginning.
Perfect. So initially, the beginning. So it's like, yeah. What did you do when you started your homework? Initially, I wrote my name on my paper and started doing my math. Yeah. All right. Zach, focus. Okay, let's find the example question. Okay, I'm gonna read the sentence out loud. When I pause, I want to hear everybody say the word. Okay, so find that example question. When I pause, I want to hear you guys say the word. What do you do?
Initially.
Good. When you have an essay to write. Okay, so what do you, when your teacher asks you to write an essay, no, I don't ask you to write them in here, but when your other teachers ask you to write essays for your classes, what do you initially do? What do you do at the beginning? So, first word we're going to say is initially, start with a capital I. So initially, I what? When I have an essay to write. So in this one, we're not going to add a period. We're just going to fill in the sentence frame here. So we're at initially, I what? What's the first thing you do when you guys write essays? What's the first thing you've been taught to do when you write an essay?
Write your name.
Okay, write a name. Maybe what else?
Capitals and like the beginning of the sentence.
Okay, so maybe I would write my name. Okay, maybe I would make sure I'm using capitals.
Yes.
Okay, or capitalization. What else? What else?
Write
would-
my name.
Find the word that you like didn't spell right.
Okay, well that's probably not going to be the first thing you do because you haven't wrote anything yet. So initially, when I start writing my essay, what else do I do besides write my name?
You need a title.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, maybe come up with a title. What if you like don't know, have all the ideas about the subject? You have to start thinking about them. What's that called?
A question.
I would write
No, I'm getting the ideas in my brain.
Brainstorm.
Ooh, there we go.
Yeah.
Brainstorm.
Brainstorm.
Maybe I brainstorm ideas.
Yes. It's me.
Okay.
Yes.
Alright, so I want you guys
Copy.
to come up with one of these examples or something else, okay? All you're doing is just filling in the blank here. You do not need to write a period at the end because there already is a finishing part of the sentence here. So just gonna put initially something, and then it just has to make sense, okay? I'm gonna write, initially, I research the topic when I have to write an essay.
Initially, I brainstorm when I have an essay to write.
When I have an essay to write.
Okay, mine is.
Okay, yeah. You don't copy the one I wrote on the screen. You can use one of these on the board. Don't write the one I wrote on the board. I wrote on the screen. Whoa, first thing you would do.
Initially,
I would write my name. I made this copy.
Or you can like add one of those.
What do you do
When I have an essay to
initially
write.
essay? Initially, I research the
Yeah, I wrote,
topic when I have an essay to write.
Brainstorm.
You're right, yeah.
And what else?
You got it.
Okay, so here, put a comma after name. After name, too. And then just write period. So PERIODS. Cool.
Mine is good.
Write my name
I just
and
don't
then
brainstorm
use
what?
my notes. And
Sentence.
how about
So
just
brainstorm
use my
sentence.
notes when I have an
Brainstorm
essay to
sentences.
write? Yeah.
Okay, so write
There you
the
go.
name when I
Good
need
job.
to copy. When I have an essay to write.
Yeah.
I just write
And then you need
question. Sentence question.
Alright. I think that you really don't need these last two lines. Kind of not sure if it helps the sentence or hurts it.
Yeah.
Like, it's really good detail. Alrighty, I'm gonna have you guys share your sentence with the person next to you,
Next.
okay? So, Alicia, I'm gonna have you share yours with Brayden, okay? Jack, I'll have you read yours to Jen or Carrie, whichever one wants to go over there and be your partner. And then Brayden and McKaylee, okay? I'm gonna have you guys read yours to each other, or sorry, not Brayden, Beckham and McKaylee, sorry. Okay, have you read yours to each other. Let's have the person closest to the window reading first. Charlie, you're gonna read your sentence to me, alright? First person read. Jack, you're reading to. Let's have Jen start standing up. She can read to you really quick. Okay, first person read. Ready, go.
Mine.
Initially, I would write my name when I make a copy when I have an essay to write.
Right.
Really good to start thinking about ways to write it. I'm gonna say initially.
Make
I
capitals initially. I researched the topic when I have an essay to write.
come up with an essay organizer of what I'm gonna write before I have an essay to write. Alright, here's some nice partner work. Why don't you go ahead and share the sentence that you wrote, please, Beckham?
Initially, I researched the topic when I write an essay. When I have an essay to write.
Good. So you might want to research the topic when you have an essay to write, so you know what to write about, right? Really good sentence. Why don't you go share so you put, please, Charlie?
Honestly, I would write my name and then use my notes when I have an essay to write.
Good. So you might write your name first and then read your notes to then write about your essay or write your essay. Okay. Really good sentence, Charlie. Thanks a ton for sharing that with us. Share with us what you put, please, Brayden.
I initially write my name, make capitals and periods.
Okay. So you initially. Oh wait. Read the rest of it.
That's all I put.
At the bottom note.
When I have easy
An essay.
essay to write.
Good, yeah. So Brayden makes sure he has his name, capitals, and periods initially when he starts writing his essay. Okay, so you start thinking about that before you write the essay, so your sentences are great as you're writing it. Great, awesome sentence. Go ahead, start quickly, Kaylee.
Initially, I write my name when I have an essay to write.
Good, so name is very important. How many of us return in our name or assign an initially, okay, so don't forget, the teacher knows who wrote it, okay? Really good sense, Michaela. And last one, Shirzuka, please, Alicia.
Oh, okay. Initially, my site brainstorms, and I have an essay to write.
Good. So you brainstorm ideas when you have an essay to write. So you brainstorm things that you're going to write about. Okay. Really great sentence. Okay. I appreciate you writing that for us. All right. We have 2 more vocab words to go over here on the bottom of page 147. So bottom of page 147, before we read, okay, let's just go over these 2 vocab words, and then we're going to talk about the key idea question before we read. So the first word here on the bottom page 147, the word is mock. What's that word, everybody?
Mock.
Mock.
Okay, I didn't hear everybody. The word's mock. What's that word?
Mock.
Mock. Good. So in this case, mock is not very real, but similar to a real situation.
Okay.
Okay, so like in this case, so they're probably going to talk about like a mock trial or something. So it's kind of like you run through it before it happens. So think about like a practice run would be the same thing as like a mock. Okay, so if like yeah, like a rehearsal. That's another good word for it. Okay. And then the next word, the word is stipend. What's that word, everybody?
Stipend.
Okay, nice work. I'm glad I could hear you nice and loud. Say it one more time, the word stipend. What's that word?
Stipend.
Perfect. So stipend is an amount of money paid to somebody. So like, have you ever gotten an allowance before from your parents? Anybody in here?
No.
No, Michaela, some a little bit. Okay. Okay, so think about somebody gives you, so let's just say, maybe it's not allowance, maybe your parents just give you a $20 bill, okay, on a Friday and say, go have fun with your friends, okay? That would basically be the same thing as a stipend, okay? So they just give you like a certain amount of money, okay? All right. Let's take a look at the top of page, or we're looking at page 146, okay, where we start our reading. Oh, actually, sorry, let's look at the key idea first, Psalm 147. So, key idea. What is the Brownsville Youth Court and why is it unusual? Okay, so why is the Brownsville Youth Court unusual? And what is it? That's what we're going to be thinking about as we read, okay? So top of page 146, okay? The title of this story is called Brownsville Youth Court.
The Brownsville Youth Court.
Yep, great.
The
Okay, Brownsville Youth Court. Okay, so here's what I want. I'm going to read out loud. When I pause, I'm going to call specific people to say the word out loud.
Okay.
Okay, so here's what I expect. Your pointer finger is following along with the reading, and so when I pause, you know exactly what word to say. So Becca, I'm going to use your pointer finger. I like that. Alicia, Brandon, Michaela, Jack, Charlie, ready to go. On page 146 right here where it's brown, starts with in all. Okay. Remember, when I pause, I'm calling a specific person. So be ready. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the... Charlie? Good. So they enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed. Which district, Braden?
Had been.
Right before have.
Oh. District. Oh, shall.
Yeah, so which shall be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation to be confronted with the witnesses against Jack?
Him.
Good. To have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor and to have the assistance of counsel for his Beckham?
Is
Zone and outlier. We need to zone in.
defense.
Defense. Good.
I couldn't really focus because I was eating my
You're eating your mask?
I was eating the candy, yeah.
Alright, well stay focused. You gotta stay focused while you eat the sugar. Okay? Alright, so that was very difficult language to understand. Okay, so basically it just means that you have a right in America, the 6th Amendment, to a speedy and public trial, okay, in the area that the crime was committed. Okay? You have the right to be confronted with witnesses against you, okay? And you have the right to bring people that are going to talk in your favor. So, for example, when I go to court, I can bring people along. They're going to say, like, no, Alicia wasn't there when the crime was committed. And then the defense might bring people to say, yes, she was. Okay, so that's just it just kind of means that you get the opportunity to defend yourself. So in some countries in the world, people aren't so lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We're not going to get into that because I don't have too many specific examples, but I just know there are examples out there. Okay. All right. Take a look down here. Start at paragraph 2. So remember, when I read and pause, I want to hear you say the words. Everyone know where we're at? This Brooklyn, McKaylee?
Court.
Good. Helps kids stay out of, Alicia?
No?
Jail. Perfect, yeah. And it's run entirely by teenagers. So it helps them stay out of jail, and it's run entirely by teenagers. All right, let's flip the page over. Okay, paragraph 3. Faith Garrett, an 18-year-old from East New York, attended her first, Braden?
College.
Good. Course in upstate New York last month. She says that wouldn't have been possible if it weren't for Brownsville Youth. Charlie?
Court.
Good. The Brownsville Youth Court hears low-level, Beckham?
Cases.
For first-time offenders between 10 and 18, like Garrett, who was arrested for stealing, and Jack?
Umbrella.
Good. And like regular court, the jurors, judges, and attorneys too are all, Alicia?
Kids.
Yep. Good. So they're all kids. Okay. So everybody in court is all kids. Okay. So first thing. Okay. Actually, all right. Never mind. We'll go back to this. Okay. Paragraph 5. Okay, so we already read, or we're thinking about this idea question. What's the Brownsville Youth Court? Okay, and why is it unusual? So, let's actually underline this before we move on in this last paragraph. So, okay, the jurors, Okay, so the jurors, judges, and attorneys are all kids. Okay, so let's underline that sentence. Okay. So that probably is a little unusual, right? Because most courts are ran by who? Are they ran by kids?
No.
No.
No, they're ran by adults, right? So it'd be a little unusual, okay? So we're going to come back to that. Okay, paragraph 5. Everybody find paragraph 5. Start with the members. The members of the court who come from area high, McKaylee? Good. And community organizations are between the ages of 14 and 18. They undergo 40 hours of, Jack?
Training.
Good. Culminating in a mock bar exam before they're allowed to hear their peers' cases. The young court volunteers receive a small monthly, Braden?
Service.
The word stipend.
Oh, stipend.
Right. So stipend, yep, for their service. Okay, so they work in the court, but they get paid a little bit of money. Okay, so it's kind of like practice job. Okay, paragraph 6. Garrett says she was, Charlie? So initially, was it? Initially good. Suspicious about her case being overseen by a court of fellow teenagers. I got nervous because I didn't know the Beckham.
Kids.
Good, and I didn't want the kids to judge me, she said. But when they started asking the questions, they were trying to help. McKaylee? Good. Okay. So, let's go ahead. We're going to answer the key idea question. Okay? So, Why is the court unusual, or what is the Brownsville court? Okay, who is the Brownsville court for? Is it for adults?
No, it's for kids.
For kids, what ages? Do you remember?
18 to 10.
So okay, so 10 to 18. So let's write that down. So the Brownsville court. But make this bigger.
Yeah, it's 18 to 10.
Okay. So we're gonna write Brownsville court is for kids ages 10 to 12. Period.
It's 18.
My bad. It's 18. Sorry. That's yeah.
10 to
Let me
18.
erase. Let me erase that. Let's rewind that. 10 to 18. Okay. Period. And then it's unusual because why? So it's for kids ran by who?
Parents.
No, we underlined it.
It's probably
Okay, what does the underlined sentence say? What does it say? Who was it ran by?
no, it's
Oh,
kids.
kids, yes. Okay, so it's unusual because it is ran by kids. Yeah.
Yeah. It's ran by kids.
Yep. So make sure you get that whole sentence written down. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put our books away after you get that sentence written down and come and check it off. Okay. Okay, make sure you guys got a period of that last one. Then you go ahead and put your books away. Get the whole thing written down. Okay, looking good.
I have
Yeah, back up once you get that written down, you can put your book away. Okay.
I book away.